Welcome to the ninth episode of MedLife Mike Talk. We are your hosts, Alec and Alex. Boy, oh boy. Uh, I'm not over this loss. It's probably one of the worst losses that I have watched as a Giants fan. And there's been a lot of bad ones. This one, we're recording this Thursday. And this has been very tough for me to get over as a Giants fan that we let this one get away. Um, I do strongly believe that we were the better team. Overall, had the better quarterback. Of course, it's a loss, 33 to 32. Devastating, absolutely devastating. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty speechless. We're gonna go, break down the game and discuss what went right, but also what went wrong in the fourth quarter specifically, because that's when everything went pretty much downhill at that point. Because we had a 26-8 lead with 10 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth. 26-8. And after that Theo Johnson tipped touchdown, I kind of thought that was the put out point of the game. And Giants said, "Nah, hold on."
Hold
And
my beer.
yeah. And ended up losing 33-32. Alex, where do we even begin with this?
I don't know, man. Gut wrenching, definitely. We were texting throughout the whole game how hyped we were. Every touchdown we scored. Defense played fucking phenomenal. The first half, I give them all credit.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was going to be a tight game, and then they were putting up all these points. They got the groove going. They got momentum going. They were scoring touchdowns. Daniel Bellinger caught touchdown. Cam Scatterboo ran one in.
Tracy.
Tracy ran one in. Yeah, it looked like offensively we were getting something going, and then defense they were doing pretty well. Like we held them to 0 points for the whole first half, which I can't remember the last time we've held a team to 0 points in the first half, and then leading by a good chunk of points. So I after the first half going into the second half, I'm like, okay, we can win this one if they keep playing the way they were, and I don't know. Somehow, like I said in the past, the Giants just can't finish games, can't finish crucial games. It's always been a problem. I also think fatigue and obviously playing in Denver, like with the air pressure or
Yeah.
whatever, took a toll. You can see the our players were pretty much winded. But still, that's no excuse. I mean, we had that game.
Yeah.
There was no excuse to lose it. Um, and then pretty much with pretty much coming to the end of the game when the Broncos had the ball, we're playing soft again, like we did with the Cowgirls. And
Mhm.
then what happens? They run the ball down, or they drive down the field. They get into field goal range, and we lose
Yep.
with the Cowgirls. And then again, we played with the Denver, trying to win this game. They played soft. They got into a good position and blew it again.
Yeah.
Tied the game, and then it just went downhill. Very unacceptable. But defensive wise, for the first half, played pretty good, but it's still gut wrenching.
Yeah. No, um yeah, I mean, I'm still devastated just talking about this, to be honest. Because this game should never have been a loss. It should have been a winning in the category. Like I said, there was a lot of ups in this game. A lot of things that we'll talk about. I want to end this episode later on in a positive note about the positives, because I do have some things that I want to talk about regarding the positives. I do want to get the negatives out of the way, just put this behind us type of thing. Um, I'm shocked, Alex, you didn't mention the most important part in a lot of this. Yes, the defense of players got gassed, rightfully so. You saw it. And then the soft uh
Blew it again.
the cover zone again with Shane Bowen, not even having Dexter on the field on that last play is inexcusable. And he apologized to the staff and to the media today. But bro, you did this twice. Like, I'm shocked he even has a job this week. I feel like
I'm
that
shocked he even did it again. Like you, like
it just
you
goes
know,
to show that, there's a lot of players on this team that shouldn't be touching the field. Um,
one of them's gonna is Deontay Banks
yeah,
to
he's
be
a
done.
former first round pick we also traded up for to get in the first round. A lot of Giants fans forget about that. We traded a pick to trade up for him already in the first round. And this guy better not see the field for the rest of the year. And they brought somebody back to replace him. It seems like because it looks like we're going to be without probably Adebo and Holland this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be fun. Our two signings, our safety and our cornerback one. So that's really frustrating because Deontay Banks does not deserve to be on that field. And the way he just approaches the media, I just don't like it. He's just very, very immature. And if he wasn't a first round pick, I think he would get that boot out of here so quick. But I think they're just trying to keep him to lessen the blow because he is a first round pick. And they're just like, all right, let's see if he has anything. But anytime he's on the field, bad stuff happens every single time. And it's so frustrating as a Giants fan when you see that number two jersey that he refused to give to Jaxson Dart, but he is going to get that number next year. That's for damn sure. Because he's not going to be on this team next year, Banks. Because Banks has not learned and will never learn to turn and hit the ball away or make a play when the ball's there. He has tight coverage. He's either causing defensive pass interference or he can never make a play on the ball. And he's never going to change. You can't teach that. And he hasn't learned this. He had these issues coming out of college, which was the concerns from a lot of Giants fans. And it showed he had an okay rookie season. Second year, they were like, all right, we'll put him at cornerback one. And he got chewed up alive. And then this year, they were like, all right, we got to regroup. We're going to sign a new cornerback for him, push him to cornerback two, and he loses the job. He loses the job to Cordell Flott, who is one of the best corners in the league, not even just on
Playing
the Giants.
phenomenal.
And that's the only like good thing that we got out of this. For them, the Giants, to even make a competition out of this summer with them two, and it took till last week for the Giants to hear from the crowd and the media to be like, why do you keep putting Deontay Banks in? For them to stop playing him until they were forced to play him again this week because of injuries. But he's not playing on the field. And again, when he goes on the field, bad things happen. He gave
Every
up 154 yards for only playing for a quarter and a half of the game. It's inexcusable. And it's frustrating as a Giants fan seeing that number two jersey on the field. And I do not want to see that number two jersey on that field for the remaining of the season.
we're probably gonna see it this Sunday though. That's if Adebo does not play.
I don't,
Holland, I'm not
I
really
think they're
worried
going to play
about.
it in Denver.
Dane Belton, when he came in, he did some work. He
Yeah.
did. He stepped up for Holland when he came in. So I got to give him a little
Holland
credit.
hasn't really impressed me too much. I'm just going to be honest with you. For the money that we're paying, same with Debo. Debo's been fine. He's been better than Holland, but Holland, for the money that we're paying for him, really isn't worth it. And again, I go back to we should never have cut, Xavier McKinney and let him walk. We should have paid him the money. But there was obviously issues there, relationship wise, regarding them too in the organization. So, we can't move from the past regards of that. But one of the most important things I want to talk about that we talked about before this episode, the kicking situation, man. We were again, I am so tired of talking about this week in and week out of this kicking situation. You are going to tell me, again, we're not there for practice and we're not there to see who won the kicking competition, but when Gano went down after that kicking fiasco, round three, now we're dealing with this kicking fiasco where this guy can't even make a freaking field goal after a touchdown, and he's not missed one last week. He missed two in this game and costed us points that could have changed this whole direction of this game and how this
I
game.
won the game.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it's hard to say what would happen if he made it, but it would have changed at least how the Broncos approached the game. And this guy, as soon as he went up there and kicked that last field goal, I knew he was going to miss it because it's the most typical Giants thing to happen. We go down, score a touchdown. What was it, 20 something seconds left? And I was like, oh, he's going to cuff this again or something. And then we're going to end up losing by a field goal by a point. And that's exactly what happened. It is so frustrating. And they're saying Gano's going to be back this week. But again, like our luck, Gano's going to be practicing on Sunday, warming up, and Terry's little hammy again. And then we're going to have no kicker again.
Well, I really hope they freaking better have Young Wei Koo like on like emergency kicker because I am tired of losing games from either a missed field goal or extra points or a kicker fucking getting injured. So I hope that's another wake up call for them to, be more smart with their decisions on doing some stuff for the team.
Yeah, what they're going to get. I mean, how do you not address the kicking situation? Again, I'm bringing this up again. How do you not address the kicking situation in the summer? How do you not bring in competition? You had two seventh round picks. You can draft a kicker in the seventh round. You had two of those to draft a kicker. You didn't bring in any competition, and you're going to roll out a 38-year-old Graham Gano, who's his kicking is behind him now regarding injuries. The guy can still kick a field goal, cool, but his injuries are affecting the Giants, and the Giants do not know how to manage game day management. And that's what Brian Dable and Joe Shane have done terribly, terribly wrong the last couple of years and has costed. It legit has cost the Giants several games. It's legit proof. So it's like inexcusable at this point. It's to me a fireable offense because if I go to my job and make mistakes on my everyday job, I'll be let go. So at this point, what are we doing here? Like it's inexcusable. Not just do it once, but not to do it twice, not to do it three times, but do it four freaking times. Like, oh my God, it's so frustrating that we even have to talk about special teams on this podcast because special teams should not be this important. You should have a guy out there to just kick a freaking field goal when needed. And it's so pathetic that we get to like the 30-yard line and we can't even guarantee a field goal to go out there, that we always have to go for it on fourth down because they can't trust this kicker to even kick a 20 or 30-yard field goal for us. Frustrating.
Very frustrating.
But I
Yeah.
do want to talk about a positive of this game. Getting a little bit off the negative because those are like the big things that we want to talk about, negative wise. Dude, I want to know your opinion on this. I don't want to say anything fully yet, but I think we got our guy as our quarterback, man.
Oh, hell yeah, we do. I mean, dude, his stats speak for me. Could have been better, but like we said, he's still a rookie. He went 15 for 33, 283 yards, three touchdowns, one interception. I
Yeah,
mean, and against a Broncos defense that's playing phenomenal.
yeah,
Um, and then obviously he had his own Russian touchdown too. Um, but you wouldn't see these type of stats if Daniel Jones were our quarterback. Still, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
granted, give him credit where he's doing phenomenal for the Colts. But dude, Jaxson Dart is definitely our guy.
yeah. He's getting
Um,
he's getting pretty high praise around the league now after this week. Because last week, again, a lot of people were taking little digs at him, former player or like current NFL players, coaches were taking little digs about Dar, like just saying that he's just a guy for vibes and just a guy that wears a necklace and who dances in the end zone. But this guy plays great ball. And I've talked about this since preseason, and I'm going to continue to talk about this every single episode of every game for him. Dude, his pocket presence and his pocket movement is the elite. And
And just
one,
trying to make plays with his legs, but slide.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad this game.
Nah,
Besides his foot getting caught on that one sack, which he should have threw the ball there away. But these are things that he has to learn. But again, this is just how he plays, though. So I don't know if he's ever gonna unlearn that because this is how he was in college, and his college coach at Ole Miss said the same thing. He would talk about him about sliding and you know just going down when needed. And
but what I
he,
love about him is the toughness, man. Like even if he pulls something like his hammy or if he hurts like his ankle or anything, he does not want to get off that field,
yeah,
and you see it. Unless he has to go into that blue tent, obviously frustrated. You can see how mad he gets and everything. That's what I love about him, that toughness that he has, man. That he just wants to be out there and try to do his best to get this win for like his team and teammates. And dude, it's just like you can tell he's so comfortable in that pocket and just doing what he does. And you don't really see much like that for rookie quarterbacks in their first year.
no,
But
he's
with him, it's just so different. It's like he brings that spark, and it's only going to go up from here. And even though we did lose by a point, gut wrenching, but I think we're pretty much contending now with like teams are that are unbeatable that we can beat. We just got to play smart and finish the games.
complete football. And I don't know, I don't know about you. I want to know your opinion on this a little bit. In regards of the whole my approach to the season, it sucks because I do think they should make the playoffs or at least be a wild card. That's with Jaxson Dart. But they got to learn how to win games and finish games, specifically finish games, because they know how to win. They know how to almost win games, and they're competing against the best. And I mean, they have the hardest schedule in the NFL. That's known fact, still out there. NFL's posted that the Giants still have the remaining hardest schedule for the year in general. And they're competing against all these tough teams, at the top of the notch.
We're
And
not getting blown out. We're competing with these tough teams. So it's just a matter of fact of playing complementary football, play smart, finish it, no mistakes. But I feel pretty positive like with where we're going. Like it might like we might not get the result that we want this year, but I think the following
next year,
year
oh yeah,
and going forward, I think we'll be in a good spot.
yeah. No, I think the Giants are going to be contenders next year, and I can almost confidently say that. I think with maybe a new coach, we have 10 games left, 10 games to really observe Dart. But Dart, dude, I'm telling you, like I don't get this feeling from a lot of players, and I've never got this feeling really from a Giants quarterback specifically. Um, but he gives me like not only just a good starting quarterback in the NFL that could just function, he gives me like superstar quarterback play and can be the quarterback that will just make plays. Obviously, we've seen that, but he's made plays without top receivers that he's playing with. No Malik, no Darius, and it's impressive. It's so impressive the throws he's making. Yeah, his deep throws can get a little more accurate here and there. He's overthrowing a little bit, but again, that's going to come in time. He's got so much of the fundamentals down, and he's so ahead of the schedule, which is crazy to see and watch. You kind of got the glimpse of it preseason. You're like, all right, it's just preseason. Then he plays his first game, wins it, beats the undefeated Chargers. Very good defense. And then the Saints game, 5 turnovers happened. Not all his fault anyway.
Nah,
Um, and then that game gets away from us. And then the Eagles, we win by 3 scores. Thursday night football at home. This game, we were up massively at one point. Again, just so devastating, massively against this game. And he was leading the way again and making plays, expanding the plays by moving the pocket. And he always has his eyes down the field. He's never just looking to run, which gets me worried when a quarterback does that. When it's like when the pocket collapses, they want to just run or move forward. Where Dart's like, I'm going to move forward, but I'm still going to continue to look downfield. And if there's a play, I'm going to throw it. So like he makes it seem like running is his first, and that's how he got the Bellinger touchdown because the safety pulled
Yeah.
forward because they thought he was running, and then Bellinger got behind the safety and was wide open.
Wide open.
So it's like that stuff is so he's so ahead of time. He legit has that super, and I don't throw that around. He has that superstar mental quarterback play in him. And it's crazy to think the Giants. And I've always thought in my head, I'm like, man, it would be nice to imagine like waking up and like having like a Patrick Mahomes type of quarterback as your quarterback, or being a Chiefs fan and just having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. Just knowing day in and day out, like if you're in and out of the game, your quarterback can go down there and possibly win you the game. Dart gives me that belief. Dart makes me feel like there's never a doubt in the game. Like I'm like, I think he could go down there and win this. And not only did he go down and score, I mean, he can't play defense too. But the rest of the games this year, I feel like the Giants are going to be in it. Like
Yeah.
games that I thought were going to be ass whoopings or some sort, I don't think Dart's going to allow that. And same with Scatterboo, because those two alone, Bam Bam Cam, of really have changed the outlook of this team and this offense. The offense with Dart starting is number sixth in the NFL with Dart start since Dart has started is number six in the NFL on offense. And the Giants were nowhere near those numbers. They were dead
Nope.
last for the last couple of years with Daniel Jones. Dude, it's insane.
Yeah. Uh, I have really good feeling. Like every time I talk about Dart, man, it just gives me butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
just
so true.
like it's great to see that we found a pretty much a perfect person that fits the Giants organization and a great quarterback. Like he's gonna be phenomenal. Like in his upcoming years, and it's only gonna go up from here. It's just that he's doing his best, playing the best ball for the offense. It's just that his defense has just gotta step up more. Even though we did play, like I said before, played a good first half. It's just the second half just completely got blown out, or like they blew it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's unfortunately how it is. And then, I love his mentality in regards of just he's brushing off the game as you should. You're
Yeah,
preparing for the Eagles, you're going to Philly. He's going to get his first taste playing in Philly. It's going to be pretty rough. There's going to be some fans that are going to say some crazy stuff to him because that's just how Philly fans are, and get some personal saying or personal statements towards him. Stay classy, Philly, as always. Um,
yeah, right.
so I'm really interested. Of course, I'm excited for this Sunday's game. Like, can we pull the sweep out on the Eagles? That'd be awesome, of course, right? This is basically it for the season. Like, we need this win just to stay somewhat sort of alive for maybe a wild card. It's already highly unlikely, but at this point, it's like I want to just see how Dart does for the remainder of the year and how, I mean, they're in every game. They're in every game, and that's what we wanted. They just got to learn how to finish and win games. That's what it really comes down to. And you've said it multiple times. I've said it multiple times. They got to learn how to finish games and win. And once they figure that out, and if that contains, the right coaching staff, then that we'll figure that out at the end of the year. But we don't have the answers for that right now. But I think the one thing I do want to say real quick is that I don't think Dart needs Dable to be successful. I think Dable needs Dart to be successful to have a job. So
Yeah,
I don't think if Dable gets fired, Dart's going to like sink. I think Dart is going to fit perfect for any coach that comes in here, whoever that is, and he's still going to be a bona fide star, whoever that new coach is. If there is a new coach. Again, I'm just throwing things out there, but I'm just saying I don't think if Dable leaves or gets let go, that Dart he's just not going to be the player who he is because Dart came in who he was when he came in from college. So I'm not worried about that. Just want to throw that out there because I don't think that's going to be an issue, down the line. I think Dart can handle himself on his own and he's not going to change for anybody and he's going to be who he is. And that's how he's been since literally been playing football his entire life, is that tough mentality that he has and that he believes that he's going to beat any team. And that's contagious, and it spreads to the ball. And then you add Bam Bam Cam with him, and those two are just nutballs together, really. Like they feed off each other, but it feeds off to the offense. And dude, how about the offensive line, man? They are
They're
playing
doing a lot
very
better.
well. They rank number 14th in the NFL right now. And again, these are numbers that we were dead last in pretty consistently in the last decade. And we have Andrew Thomas, who's playing an all-pro year. We have Jermaine Illuminor also playing an all-pro year. Both those guys deserve the all-pro if they continue to play. Andrew Thomas has only given up one pressure the entire year. And he's back to like him old self again. And you could see those two core guys at the end is able to give Jaxson the confidence that he needs in the back. And it's
Yeah.
great to watch. But the one thing I want to talk about is, going into this Sunday, we're going into Philly. Jaxson Dart, like I said, is going to his first game in Philly. It's going to be a tough one. But again, like I said before, I think Dart keeps us in these games, and I think he will keep this game close again. And it doesn't seem like AJ Brown might play this game. So we'll see how that goes throughout the next couple days, but he hasn't practiced the last 2 days. Bless you.
Thank you.
So I think your prediction was, let's see. All right. Both of our predictions were that we were going to lose this game. Does your prediction change? Does it stay the same?
I think it's gonna stay the same. The only reason why is because the injuries we have right now for the defense. We won't have Javon Holland. Probably won't have Javon Holland and a Debo. And I know Banks is gonna fucking screw it up for us if he starts. Um, but I'm not gonna say we're gonna get blown out. I think it's gonna be a tight game again, and it's just gonna be a matter of who finishes. So I have a lot of faith in the offense and scoring the points because what we did against Philly at home. So hopefully they can keep that same mentality, momentum, and bring it to Philly. And I would love to come out with a win. But I think my decision still stands is we might lose, but I don't know. I hope they prove me wrong. As much as I want to win, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's gonna be close again. Um, I'm gonna stick with mine too as well. As much as I want to say, of course I want them to win, of course, every time. I think it's gonna be close, but we haven't won in Philly since 2013, so why not? Why not just go into Philly? What
Yeah,
a bigger
just
way for Jaxson Dart to strut, to go into Philly and beat the Eagles, not only beat the Eagles, but sweep them for the year. Um, and Philly fans can, be mad about it after or whatever, but you know, they know what's up for stake for this game. It's basically the season in some aspect, as much as players don't say that they think about that, but it's the truth. Let's be real here. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to watch it again. And please just don't break my heart because last Sunday really destroyed me in a lot of ways. And it took me a couple days. It was probably one of the hardest
yeah,
uh,
that won't hurt.
to recover. And I would say probably the Deshaun Jackson return was and also a really tough one.
What's crazy is I was gonna mention that earlier, but we were talking. We just kept bringing stuff up about stats and all that.
Yeah, the one thing that I saw, my boy froze, so I can't see him right now, but I'm going to talk for a little bit. The one thing for is that the Giants have got blown out after that Eagles game where Deshaun Jackson returned the punt. So I'm hoping that's not the case here, and the Giants can go into Philly and shock the world again. This time it won't be on prime time, but it's all we can say and hope for. And Alex is still gone, so definitely interesting for sure. But, you know, we're going to see what happens this Sunday when the Giants go into Philly, back to Saquon Barkley yet again. Let's see how he responds. But as always, thank you guys. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. We appreciate you guys watching this. We'll be back next week to discuss hopefully a win from the Philadelphia Eagles.